JJ.
And I'm Owen.
And welcome back to the Play-by-Play podcast. So yeah, it is now Monday, February 12th, the day after the Super Bowl. And everybody was watching it. So Kansas City won if you weren't watching it all the way through because it was a pretty long game. Went into overtime. 25-22 was the final score. And Mahomes wins Super Bowl MVP. What do you guys think about this?
I think, it's a dynasty now. And, it's annoying seeing the Chiefs here every year. They're like the new Patriots. But, obviously Mahomes deserved the MVP. So,
Yeah, I feel like in the first quarter they just couldn't get something going. I mean, they got something going in like the first drive with the Christian McCaffrey fumble, but then it just like went downhill from there. I don't know if Isaiah Pacheco's fumble in the red zone was in the first or second quarter, but you just can't have that happen. Like if you're in the red zone, you can't fumble.
Yeah, it was a boring game for the first, I would say,
3 quarters.
3 quarters, yeah. It was a low-scoring game. It was just defense. The offense wasn't clicking for either really side. George Kittle didn't get a target until, I believe, the 4th quarter. They really shut him down, and it was a really defensive game for most part.
Yeah, especially with that fumble recovery, you can't let that happen either. Like when the Chiefs are starting to get something to go and you muff a punt, like when you know it hits your foot, you gotta recover it. You can't just watch it. You gotta try to dive on the ball.
There was so many fumbles on the punt return.
Yeah.
Speaking of one of the fumbles with Isaiah Pacheco, Travis Kelce was yelling at Andy Reid because he wasn't in on that play. And you could say, do you guys agree with this? I don't know if you do, but do you guys think that it was the backup tight end's fault for Isaiah Pacheco fumbling?
No, I think that Andy Reid, it was a good idea that he took him out. He's probably one of the worst blocking tight ends in the game. So to take him out and put a better blocker in, it's just common sense.
Yeah, and also that's ridiculous. He bumped him to. You can't be doing that to your coach, man. That's ridiculous. Like, have some respect for your coach,
Yeah, but I'm glad they didn't, most of the time they usually take the players out and they just don't put them back in, after what happened. And I'm glad they didn't take Travis out because, honestly, the Chiefs wouldn't have won without him. He made some crucial first downs, and he had a good game. Not a lot of targets, but when he did get the ball, it was good. JJ, do you think this is a dynasty?
Yeah, I think it's a dynasty. I mean, they have 3 Super Bowls in the past 5 years. They have the franchise quarterback. I think he's gonna be the best quarterback in NFL history at the end of his career. He already has 3 Super Bowls. He has an MVP. He has the best coach one of the best coaches of all time. He just has a great team around him, and I think he's gonna go very far with them.
Yeah, it's the new Brady Belichick duo, pretty much. Instead of them, it's Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Andy Reid succeed. He was with the Eagles. I'm glad to see him do good things, even in other teams. And I did want the Chiefs to win. I knew that I had a feeling they were going to win because I don't like betting against Mahomes, like I said before. And I'm glad I didn't because they won. And this is just what Mahomes does. He puts his team on his back. If you remember, it was 4th and 1. You could have handed it off to Isaiah Pacheco or maybe a little screen pass for the first down. No, he takes it and he runs himself, and he gets that first down. And he just puts his team on his back, puts the team on his back, and does what he does, and that's what he does best. Carries at the end of the game. So do you think the 49ers season was a failure because they lost?
No, I think it was still a season to go down in history. Well, it was a pretty good season, but, obviously they led the game for most of the time and then sold it at the end. So, you could say either way.
Yeah, I think it wasn't a failure. I mean, they had a bunch of all-pros. They had a bunch of all Pro Bowlers. I feel like it wasn't a failure just in this big game. I just think the Chiefs have more experience.
I don't think it was a failure of a season. I think if they won, it definitely would have been their best season because if you think about it, they've been to the NFC Championship last year. They've been to NFC. Well, it's been like the past 10 years. They've been to a lot of NFC championships, a lot of Super Bowls, and lost every single one of them. It's been this team has had a lot of ups and downs through the past years. Jimmy G, Jim Harbaugh. Now you got Brock Purdy. This team's had a lot of ups and downs, and as soon as you're done celebrating, it all comes crumbling down, and you lose in the big game. And I think that's just what the 49ers do. And obviously, I'm assuming they're going to be back next year for the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl. I think they'll be back because that's just what the 49ers do. They're always here, and you know they're going to be around.
In the past, since 2000, they've been to the NFC Championship 7 times. They've gone to the Super Bowl 3. They lost all 3 times. If you're a 49ers fan, I feel bad for you.
Yeah, it's tough. I would hate to be a 49ers fan.
Especially because, sorry, Vinny.
Yeah.
But the first Super Bowl we go to against the Ravens, you were down. Then the lights shut off, and you come back at halftime, and you're building up a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
Then in Super Bowl 54 against the Chiefs, you're up 10 points with I think it was 10 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Then this Super Bowl, you're up 10 again. I think it was half of the end of the third quarter, and then Patrick Mahomes comes back and wins
Yeah,
it.
because at starting in the second half during halftime, the Chiefs only scored a field goal, and the Niners it was 10-3, and the only time the Chiefs scored in that first half was a field goal with 9 seconds left. And the 49ers, they have the weapons to win, but towards the end of the game, Brock Purdy didn't really like he was doing much. At the start, he was throwing some good passes. And then towards the second half, I didn't really see that. So,
I mean, it was a boring game for both offenses. And I feel like even if the 49ers, it was boring. The whole game really, it was the same thing except when who threw the touchdown pass to Christian McCaffrey? It was the flea flicker.
I think it was Jennings.
Yeah. He had a passing
that was
touchdown
a crazy
and a receiving touchdown.
Bringing out some Madden plays.
Yeah, it was a crazy game, but I would have liked to see more points go up on the board, but a win is a win. And towards the end of the game, the offense just started getting hot, and you feel like it was a little too late to get that hot. I mean, you have 60 minutes of football, and you're playing 30, 20 for the offense. It could have been a better performance, but good job, Kansas City.
I feel like in overtime, just to add something, if George Kittle didn't get taken out of the game, I think they would have won. Because in overtime, you want to use your weapons as much as possible. So you have Brandon Ayuk, you have George Kittle that was out, you have Deebo Samuel that got hurt, and you have Christian McCaffrey. So if you have more weapons, they're harder to cover because then you can have Brandon Ayuk in the slot and then run it to Deebo, or you have George Kittle that's a really good blocking tight end that can lead block for a jet sweep to Deebo Samuel. But without Deebo or George Kittle, you just don't have that blocking.
Yeah, but the jet sweep, they tried it and it was getting shut down, and then Kittle was getting guarded like crazy. He couldn't get open. There was no targets for him. I mean, they could have won if they had George Kittle in, but it could really go either way.
Yeah, that, and also with the jet sweeps with Deebo, they were using him as a running back almost, and that's not what he's meant for.
That's what they always do. That's what they're known for. They're known for motion. They're known for a lot of motion. Kyle Shanahan trying to trick the other team, try to get it offsides, try to get a neutral zone, trying to get everybody seeing if they're playing man or zone, just trying to see what the defense is looking like. But that's what just Kyle Shanahan does, and he likes Deebo Samuel as a running back sometimes. It's not expected of Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, so another thing was all of our picks for the honors and the Gatorade color and all that. I think I went 4 for 5 on the awards, and I got the Gatorade color right. I said purple, and it was purple. So, JJ, what did you pick? What were your picks?
I think I I think I went 5 for 5 in the honors, and then I picked orange Gatorade, and it was purple.
I believe I went 4 for 5 in the honors, and I said the Gatorade color would be red, and it was purple, so I was wrong.
So something I just saw, the NFL just came out with the new Super Bowl logo.
Oh, really?
And as you guys know,
Oh,
the
for-
Super Bowl theory is like a thing. Like Taylor Swift is like, they're saying people, it was like purple for Taylor Swift's dress and then like red for the 49ers. This year it's red and green. So everyone's hinting at Packers Chiefs, which is a reasonable Super Bowl.
Yeah, I saw that, and I just saw Seahawks and Chiefs also, which
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen. But
There's
might.
there's a lot of people that have green in this league in their colors.
Well,
There's
it's
a lot of
like
people that
a,
have
it's
red,
like
too.
a light green. It's not really
It's like a Kelly green.
not really. It's kind of like a neon green.
Maybe the Seahawks. You know that neon green.
Yeah.
They have that jersey.
Well, it's not really the Packers green, which is really confusing. But
Yeah. I mean, it is just a theory, but there was a lot of theories that went on this year with the Super Bowl.
so then I just saw it again, and people are hinting at Bengals Seahawks or Cardinals Jets.
Wow. Oh yeah, the Jets. I forgot. I mean,
nah, the
Aaron
Jets.
Rodgers coming back.
Well, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but I don't see the Jets making it. The only known player on their defense pretty much is Sauce Gardner, and that is their best player on defense.
C.J. Mosley.
Yeah, but their most known is Sauce
Yeah.
Gardner.
Well, Devontae Adams, they're talking about getting him.
yeah,
so
well, if they do get him, then yeah, I could see that.
yeah.
Mostly, their defense this year was mostly carrying them to anyone they were lucky enough to get because they were awful this year. Their offense was horrible. So honestly, when Aaron Rodgers comes back, you could see some magic happen. Also, I noticed this isn't a part of the Super Bowl logo, but the Chargers, man, now they have Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh. Ooh, they're gonna be good. I mean, I don't know how far they're gonna make it in the playoffs, but I feel like I have a feeling in my body they're making it to the playoffs.
Well, especially with the NFC or AFC West is a hard division to win. You got the Chiefs that are always good. The Chargers are always there. The Bengals start to click in the middle of the season, so that's going to be a fun division to watch.
Yeah, because it's going to be a lot of Joe Burrow is going to be coming back. Justin Herbert obviously is going to be coming back. It's going to be a fun division next year, and I feel like that's going to be where you got to watch because now you have Jim Harbaugh at the Chargers. All right, so now we're going to talk about the Sixers. We got Kyle Lowry signs $2.8 million deal with the Sixers. What do you guys think about this?
Like I was saying in the last video or episode, whatever. Why trade Pat Bev? You need a backup point guard. I think Kyle Lowry's a great backup point guard.
Yeah, and he's definitely gonna be a backup, but pretty sure he's shooting 49% from three, which that's. The Sixers needed someone that was like a dead-eye shooter. Obviously they got Buddy Hield and now Kyle Lowry. So, I think they'll be pretty good.
Do you think that without Joel Embiid, the Sixers are done?
Yeah, I think they're done. If he's probably gonna be back for playoffs, but that's if they even make the playoffs, right? There is a play-in, which they'll most likely be in it, but you never know.
Well, the thing is with the Eastern Conference, outside of the play-in, the teams aren't that good. Like, the teams in the play-in have a good record, but, like, the first seed out of the play-in doesn't have that good of a record. And that build-up at the beginning of the season, I think we went, like, 9-1 or whatever. That was a really good thing for the Sixers to have now with Joel Embiid out. I think players are going to start to realize that you have to step up when your best player isn't in. So I feel like they're going to start clicking, and I feel like they're going to get better.
Yeah, I think they might get better too. And if they do make the playoffs, I think, and Joel Embiid does come back healthy, I think it's going to be a good run in the playoffs. Hopefully not first rounded.
Well, I'd rather not have Embiid in the playoffs than have Embiid like he has been playing in the playoffs for the past 3 years. Because Joel Embiid, when he gets the ball, there's like a 90% chance he's going to shoot the ball. So when he's off in the playoffs and you just have him keep missing, I'd rather have people that like Tyrese Maxey that pass, Buddy Hield that can shoot, players like that, and not just have Joel Embiid miss all of his shots.
Yeah, because like last year, he was rolling to the top of the key every single play. Joel Embiid, their center, was shooting threes the entire time. I mean, yeah, they were getting blown out, but I mean, still, why would you not have Harden? Because they had Harden or Maxey, someone like that, to shoot those threes instead of their big man. Their 7'1" big man was shooting threes.
Yeah, but that's what Doc Rivers wanted.
Yeah,
And we
Doc
never did
Rivers. It is such a good thing he's gone.
That's what Doc Rivers wanted. I don't know. I feel like if Joel Embiid, in my personal opinion, I feel like if Joel Embiid comes back, I think we might go far in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now we got some Eagles news. Eagles grant Hassan Reddick permission to seek a trade elsewhere because he's had double-digit sacks for the past 2 seasons and has failed to get a Super Bowl. What do you guys think about this?
I think this is a bad thing because Hassan Reddick, he's been amazing for the Eagles. He's been with them for a while, and obviously we got Nolan Smith. He might step up, but Hassan Reddick, man, it's gonna be a tough loss.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if Nolan Smith can step up. I feel like they haven't utilized him enough this season to even play the role of a step up if Hassan leaves. I hope he doesn't leave, and I don't think he will. But if he does, where do you guys think he'll end up?
I think maybe Denver, Buffalo, somewhere there. I don't think he's leaving because this whole controversy thing happened with Darius Slay last year too, and he didn't go anywhere. But I feel like even if he leaves, you still have like Josh Sweat, and everyone's going to be healthy. And I think Jalen Carter will step up after his rookie year. So I think we're still going to be good without him.
Yeah, I feel like he won't leave, but if he does leave, I have no idea where he's going to go. Maybe Detroit or somewhere where the good defenses go, but
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it will be going anywhere. All right, so that's it for the Play-by-Play podcast. We'll see you guys next week.